Hi, and welcome from Pontedueme, which is about 2/5 of the way through my Camino Inglés. And I have to admit, taking 2 rest days, approximately 10 miles a day, has been quite the decision to make. It's working out quite well. So today I arrived rather early, and I'm taking a chance to just kind of walk around the town and relax and have a kind of quiet day. 3 Italians, an Englishwoman, and I took a variant of today's Camino in order to have something a little more interesting than just hiking along the road. Well, that turned out to be quite the challenge. You can see some of the hills in the background, and that's how we ended up getting into Pontedueme, with a couple of really big climbs and then a couple of really steep descents. But here we are. So for the next 3 days, give or take, it's all pretty straightforward and easy. And I have to admit, I'm kind of missing the challenge of Ireland now. Not too much, but a little bit. It seems to me that coming up in the future, Switzerland might be a little bit more on the calendar than I was originally thinking. Why is that? Well, one of the things I've come to appreciate about Ireland is that as much as I sometimes feel that I'm all on my own on the Camino, that was really true in Ireland. I had nobody with which to discuss the day's plans, the day's hike, lodging or accommodations or restaurants for the day. It truly was much more about me and the journey. So, for example, here on the Camino Inglés, where there's a lot of other pilgrims, last night we sat around and we discussed today's journey. How far were we going to hike? What things there might be along the way that we could take advantage of? Where we were going to stop. We talked about where we were going to stop and the conditions in the places where we could stop at. So that made it just a lot easier, a lot more confident in the day's hike. And somehow, with taking the edge off the uncertainty, although it's still an enjoyable hike, it's also made it a little less exciting. So if I go on to Switzerland on the Via Francigena, I'll be back in that situation where it'll be me and me alone, constantly figuring out the day, the night, where to sleep, where to eat, when to call it quits. It could be interesting. And what is really stunning to me about this particular Camino in Spain, the Inglés, being only 5 days or 6 days, depending on how I cut it, it's like no sooner have I started it and I'm thinking that the end is coming right around the corner. Very different from any of the other Caminos. Well, that's about it for now. So have a good day. Bye.